The death hold that Google has over search engines and almost all online business is at stake when they lost this antitrust lawsuit. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. This has foreseeable the biggest implications ever. I'll read you the article, but it actually has to do with how alternate sites like Rumble, X, Yahoo, Duckduckgo, even Microsoft and Apple can operate because everyone's doing a giant workaround on Google, the world's largest information pipeline in the world is Google because they have the largest clients in advertising in the world. They basically have the same GDP as some countries. So, welcome to an exile where we give you the news that perhaps I don't know how I'm going to post this on YouTube, but we're over on Rumble at Doug in Exile. We're over on X at Doug in Exile, even as we try to get monetization on YouTube. I had a great conversation on the phone with the Rumble exec today. She was very helpful, very good. We're going to try a few things over there too. What Google rivals want after the DOJ's Department of Justice antitrust trial win. Longtime Google rivals like Yelp and DuckDuckGo received a huge victory on Monday when a federal judge ruled that Google is an illegal monopoly. That alone is good work, good news. But their statements on the ruling expressed restraint. That's because the work of restoring competition has only just begun, and the judge is yet to decide what that work will include, with a lot of options on the table. Google's competitors are pushing for changes they believe will help their businesses, which might be harder than it sounds. So, what does that mean? Well, every enemy of Google, which is every other company online, is going, Google has favored status. By the way, for a very good reason. Google is the number one search engine. Google's defense is, look, we're the best. And they are. Same way that YouTube is the best, and it is. But what happens when Google owns YouTube and they know they're both the best, and so they're giving you search results on news, and it's mostly YouTube shows that come up. None from Twitch, none from Rumble, none from other platforms. Well, the other platforms are small for a reason, and Google is big for a very good reason. But can other companies respond and work within the little scraps, the smaller chunk of cookie that's left over for them? You know, in America, we always champion big business and say, yay, you're doing it, until they start using their size to make it harder for others to openly operate and grow. Well, Google's so big, they're probably going to have to break it up. That's my opinion on it, but I don't know. We'll find out with this lawsuit here. While we are heartened by the decision, a strong remedy is crucial, Yelp CEO Jeremy Stoppelman wrote on a blog post after the ruling, referencing the new trial phase that will kick off. That's in September. For sentencing, for what is the remedy going to be to this? Do they break it up? We've passed a key milestone, but there's still a lot of history to be written. Camille Bazbaz, Senior Vice President of Affairs for DuckDuckGo, said in a statement, quote, Google will do anything it can to get in the way of progress, which is why we hope to see a robust remedies trial that can really dig into all the details, propose an array of remedies that will actually work, and set up a monitoring body, this is crucial, to administer them. So they're going to have a bureaucracy that Google's going to have to supply their data to prove that they're addressing these remedies. These statements reflect an understanding that Judge Amit Mehta's decision on how to restore competition will be just as, if not more important, as his finding that Google violated antitrust law. The recently concluded liability phase determined that Google's violated the Sherman Act, the Antitrust Act, through exclusionary contracts with phone and browser makers to maintain its default search engine position. You go, what's the big deal? They're managing search results. Big deal. No, The problem is the search results is also what the advertisers use to connect their product to. And that's where all the money's coming from. That's how they monetize you and I just watching and using the internet on our phone, primarily on our phone, but also on the computer, is they attach advertisements to it. And so if they have favored results to Google and then massive favored, because what ad company wants to advertise on Twitch streams? They're tiny. They can't compete. In the remedies phase, Meta will decide how to restore competition in general search services and search text advertising. But a weak remedy will simply give Google a pass. And that's some of the problems with Google's competitors like Duckduckgo, who saw the same antitrust law come out in England, decided 2 years ago. Nothing happened because YouTube was able to work around the decision. So they want to make sure that the remedies is super robust. And is it fair? Do you just go destroy a company just because it's huge? And so you're too big. Now, we have a moral agenda against them being all run by Democrats. That is not a court's concern, but it will definitely help all right-leaning or free speech-leaning platforms, Locals, Rumble, X, not Facebook, but they will benefit, okay? Because it could pry open a huge percentage of the market that everyone else can come in and open up and start doing business and up their profits. And then that ups their ability to do research and go out and get clients and all of that. That's how all this works. So this is good news, I believe, for business, because anything bad that happens to Google, to their bottom line business of the control that they have on searches. And I just don't believe in punishing a company just because it's good and efficient, because Google is good at the products it does. My YouTube channel got 1.5 million views a day. And now we're down to only about 60 to 70,000 of you a day able to find me, because it's very hard to operate for my brand to operate on that platform. And they go, you can go to other platforms. This isn't antitrust. You can go to Rumble. Well, the audience isn't as big. And we're trying to grow our audience over there. And more people are finding these other platforms every day. But it can't make up for Google has a 25-year advantage on every other business. So we'll see how this develops. This is very good news for X, for Elon Musk also, and Chris Pavlovsky from Rumble, other platforms. This could pry open a huge chunk of the market for them to operate, advertise within, operate their own search engines, which I always say to Rumble and X, the key is your search engine. When it becomes useful to look up products on X or look up any information on X, as it is on Google, you'll start naturally tearing away that market. I'm Doug in Exile.